Oh my god, I just put in my first offer on a house. What? It's moving day. It also gave me health problems, so good riddance. Let's go get the keys. Oh my god, the day has finally come. I am about to drive to Swansea to pick up the keys to my very own home. Oh my good god, it's been a while. This new degree is absolutely kicking my ass. So if you don't know, I'm a dental student. I've done 4 years of dental school and I've always performed, you know, pretty well. And then I am intercalating, which means you put a 3-year degree into 1 year. I'm doing anatomy, and that anatomy degree is open to dentists, medics and vets. It should not be open to dentists. I am the first ever to try it, which they didn't tell me until I'd already joined the degree, and it was too late to drop out at that point. And when I applied, it said that the assessments would be tailored to my strengths and my career. 5/6 of the course are not on the head and neck. That is one topic. Then there is upper limb, thorax, abdomen, pelvis and lower limb. Everything else, I am starting quite literally from a standstill. I know nothing. I had to learn last term the entire thorax, all of the medical conditions that could go wrong, the nerves, the blood vessels, the muscles, the attachments, the sensory innervation of everything, within 2 weeks. 2 weeks was what they covered the thorax in. So what have I been doing for the last 3 months? Carrying around this book, good old Moors, and attempting to learn the entire thing. I also had 2 essays to write last term, which I managed to do on time, and the OSCE exam, where we basically have a 60-mark paper, 30 minutes to answer them all, and I still don't know if I've passed it yet. But the biggest problem is, if I fail the OSCE exam, the essay's absolutely fine. I'll work my arse off, I'll spend as much time as I need, and I'll get the grades that I need. The OSCE exam, the amount of detail you need to learn, and the recall, like you have no thinking time, you literally just have to be able to come out with it. So as you can imagine, most of my time, despite that being a tiny part of the degree, most of my time is going into learning the entire body anatomy. Because the issue is, if I fail those exams, I fail that module and I fail the whole degree. I've been literally speaking to absolutely everybody in the department. They can't change the exams for me. So it's been a case of suck it up, get on with it, because if I drop out, I get no degree and I lose 5 grand's worth of funding. Even if I fail, I still don't have the degree, so I'm in the exact same situation, but I'm 5 grand richer. So yes, that's one aspect of my life that has been causing me absolute hell. Then we move on to number 2, the mould. In October time, Dom and I started to find mould just absolutely covered on stuff. Like, I'm not talking a little bit that can be washed off. Entire leather jackets, entire suede jackets, covered Birkenstocks. Like, Birkenstocks had to go in the bin. Over 400 quid's worth of stuff just had to go straight in the bin. The rest we washed. Of course, any mould that came up, we would wipe. Back of the telly, mould. Picture frames, mould. Absolutely blooming everywhere. We moved into this property, it's a rental, because my old house was so old and dusty and mouldy. I was actually getting allergies to it. I get really awful rashes, my ears are burning, my throat is burning, like I'm constantly sneezing. And all the doctors ever said to me was take antihistamines, but I don't really want to medicate for the rest of my life. So when we looked for properties, we said, right, we're gonna go for somewhere new or a new refurb. Ta-da! New refurb. We were like, yes, hit the jackpot. It is a basement flat, so we were like, might be a couple of, you know, issues with water or whatever. But we thought, well, they've just refurbed it, it'll be absolutely fine. Nope, they failed to tell us that the tenant before absolutely let the entire flat go mouldy. They just painted over it, painted over the vents in the bedroom that was completely mouldy as well. That bedroom that was completely mouldy was the bedroom that it's a bit of a box room. So we turned it into a wardrobe, which meant all of our clothes were mouldy. Not even just that, the hangers, the wooden hangers, had wood mites on. I didn't even know they were a thing. They're like tiny little white beads crawling all over the hangers. Now those wood mites dropped feces or shed their skin or something onto my clothes, and then I was getting the most horrific, like, pimple-like rash on the top of my back where I don't even want to think about it, had dropped onto my clothes, and my continuing allergies from the other place obviously hadn't gone away. So it was absolutely fine in summer, obviously, but as the weather started to get colder outside, we started to have issues inside, which was why it was after 3-4 months of living here did all these issues come about. Also, the only vent in the property was in the bathroom, and that that was blowing hot air into the flat. It wasn't extracting anything. It wasn't an extractor fan. It was literally blowing hot air into the flat. So they'd painted over the vents in the bedrooms, which new mould was growing through. This is how like aggressive this mould is. And pretty much the rest of the flat had no ventilation either. So of course we spoke to the tenancy agency, we spoke to the landlord. The landlord just seemed to think if he came and put 3 little vents in the flat that it was going to solve all the issues. And we were like, but there is mould like in here. Like we need it fumigated. We need something to treat the living creatures that clearly I'm breathing in. Because, another layer to this, I got the flu in about October. I then had a cough, a persistent cough for 2 months, and Dom has previously had pneumonia in Bristol in a mouldy property. So I was absolutely petrified that I was doing all this hard work for my exams and I was going to be hit with like a bout of pneumonia just before my exam. So I was going to the doctors, I'd been to them about the allergies, I was going to them about like this cough that I had. She was like, are you wheezing? And I was like, no, like, you know, it's not that bad. I'm really worried about, you know, if it's going to progress. And she listened with the stethoscope. She was like, yeah, you're really wheezing. I think you should go see an asthma nurse. I'm like, so on top of all of this, I've got a newfound asthma from the property that I'm paying nearly £1,400 a month for. Bristol rent is just absolutely extortionate. So yeah, but the landlord thought some little vents was going to fix it. Anyway, we let him put the vents in. We thought we've got to just go along with it. 2 weeks later, obviously absolutely nothing extra had happened. And you know the cheekiest thing, right? He comes in and he goes, well, I don't see any mould. And I'm like, we're not going to live in it, are we? We're not going to live in it. We're going to wipe it. We're going to treat it. We have all these mould cleaners. We bought a heated drying rack. We've made sure not to be doing our washing in the apartment as to not bringing extra moisture. We bought loads of dehumidifier, like hangy things. We've got 2 little dehumidifiers. We bought even like shoe dryers so that like things that go in your shoes that warm them up to dry them because we were fed up of all our shoes going mouldy. So no, there's not going to be visible mould on the walls, but it's the stuff you can't see that we're worried about. It's that stuff that's causing me these issues and all of my rash issues. And then he goes, how much are you paying for this place? So we said, and he goes, oh, I could get more off other people. The absolute cheek. I was literally like, oh. So we went along with him. Vents got put in, nothing happened. Then he brings around an industrial dehumidifier, right? The issue is not even what we are doing. Basically, they kept trying to blame us, that it was us breathing, us cooking, us showering. But we were opening windows, we were closing doors, we were containing where that moisture was and sending it outside. So they sent over an industrial dehumidifier and basically said that that will get the levels low enough to then be maintained by the vents. Kind of made sense. Except for it's been a whole month and that dehumidifier has to be emptied every single day. To the point where we went home for Christmas and the poor handyman that does these properties had to come round in the Christmas holidays, Christmas Eve even, to come and empty it. That was with nobody living here. We were not producing any condensation and they've got a log about how much is being emptied. And I just don't even know what to do because I know that there's some legal claim in this, right? I know that we shouldn't be paying this much rent to live in a place that we are practically fighting to stop our things getting mouldy. But equally, I haven't got the time to do the fight. I haven't got the time to, you know, I haven't got the money to pay somebody to sort it out for me. And I haven't got the time because I'm attempting to do this degree, but also argue that this degree isn't fair. So it's been interesting, guys. It's been really interesting. So that's been my life for the last 4 months. I've been keeping my head above the water. I've been trying not to cry every day. And I have been training still. You know what? Because that is the one thing I can control. And I did my first ever High Rocks. I did a pro doubles and it was really, really fun at High Rocks London. And then I went home for Christmas and we went on a skiing holiday with my family. And it was the first time we'd all been together in 2 years because my little brother was in New Zealand and Australia for that time. So that was really special. And I got back to Bristol yesterday uni starts today because I need to write my dissertation now. And it was a little bit of a slap in the face. Like, we had to buy all new wardrobes and everything was just a complete mess. We'd done all of our washing at home, but coming back and, you know, doing all our unpacking, but also reorganising everything that was in cupboards, and, you know, it's been a lot. But it could be a lot worse, you know? It could be far, far worse. It's just so unsettling. So we were like, we're gonna have to move. We can't stay here. We've got another year and a half of uni. We're gonna have to move. And I really want to apply to this Welsh scheme for foundation training. Now, I've always loved Wales. I actually went on a little trip to Wales with some friends before we went home for Christmas. And I love the sea, I love the mountains, and I've just always wanted to live there. So I made a bit of a joke to Dom, and I was like, oh, maybe I could get a mortgage. Maybe I could just buy a house. I'm so done with landlords. Maybe I'll just become a, you know? And he was like, Holly, we've been through this. You can't do it. Like, I'm self-employed. Obviously, I've worked on Instagram and social media for like 3 years. And with that money, I have always been so sensible. I either put it into a savings pot, into an ISA, into a LISA, or I use it to book races and things that will kind of produce more content. One of those two options, because my student loan just about covers my rent. I do top it up, and my tuition is paid for by my student loan, but this year by the NHS bursary. So it means that anything I earn, like I say, I can either reinvest or I can save. So I managed to get a house deposit together, but the issue is getting the mortgage and being able to prove that, you know, I can pay back the monthly mortgage payments, and getting a bank to lend me a lot of money. So that's where Dom was like, you know, it just can't happen. But me being me, I was like, oh, I don't really take no for an answer. I started to talk to banks, mortgage advisors, brokers, you know, all of that jazz. And I realised that actually, because I've been so good at being my own accountant, and like my books were absolutely like, they were like, you did these? And I was like, yeah. That's just because I'm so type A and need absolutely everything organised. And they were like, yeah, like, I think you could. I knew what my budget was, and I knew what that could get me in somewhere more rural like South Wales. I couldn't have bought even a flat here or where my family live in London, but I don't want to live here or in London. I want to live by the sea. So then I started to look on like Rightmove and Zoopla, and I found these 3 properties, and I was like, oh, why don't I just go? It's actually near the Gower region, so like just more west of Swansea. And I was like, let me look at these houses, let me make sure I like the area, let me make sure, like, you know, this is something that actually I want to invest my time into looking into. And the lady was like, oh, we've actually had another property. It's not on the market yet, but we think you'd absolutely love it. When you're here, do you want to see it? I'll ask if you can have an early viewing. Nobody else had seen it. Like, you know, the day that I viewed it was the day that it got put on the market for everybody else. And yes, the first 3 properties, 2 were like far too much work. Obviously, I've got this degree that I'm doing. At this point, I didn't know if I was dropping out. I didn't know if I was staying. Now I am staying, and I'm going to see it through. But I was like, I don't need a complete renovation job on my hands at the same time as attempting to do a ridiculously difficult degree. And then the third one was really, really lovely and a great location, but it didn't have like a garden. I obviously have things like bikes, and we have a pizza oven and all that jazz. And like, it's just like storage. It didn't have much storage, and we have a lot of stuff. And then this 4th property, oh my God, it was like a 90th minute winner, right? I looked around and I was immediately like, yes. Basically everything in it was white. Quite a minimal theme of decoration, like very white and beige, and it looked beautiful, but I was like, oh my God, it's like a blank slate. I can paint any colours that I want. I want my kitchen yellow, I want my living room blue, I want, you know, my head was like ping, 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 and I was like, oh my God. Like, I didn't want to fall in love with it, of course. It was very early on. I'd only just looked at it, but I was like, is that fate? Is that fate that I have seen this before it even went on the market? So then I'm like heading home to Bristol, and it's like the most beautiful sunset, like red skies. I was like, oh, surely that's a sign. I mean, when you want something to be a sign, like everything's a sign. So I was like, surely that's a sign. So I get back to Bristol and I tell Dom, and I'm like, oh, I need to put an offer on this house, like before anybody else can. Long story short, got my mortgage in principle, put an offer in, and then another first time buyer, because I'm a first time buyer, also loved it and put an offer in. Like, oh. But then you can't get told what the offer they put in was. So I put another offer in, and then they put another offer in, and then I put another offer in. And I got it. But then of course, then I had to get the mortgage. And I sent everything to the company. I sent all of my books. I sent all of my current brand deals, my contract, even like a bit of a portfolio explaining kind of why my income's gone up, the brands I've been working with, like my kind of projections and things I've got planned for the next year. Within 2 days, they approved the mortgage. I was like, what? And also, I had spoken to another broker, and he had said, you're going to have to get a specialist lender. You're going to be paying like 5.5%-ish interest. And I was like, oh God, that's a lot. But this is the best time in my life to do this. We need to move. I'm fed up of paying rent. I've got this degree where, yes, it's a lot of work, but it's less contact hours. So I could like, you know, go and decorate and whatever. And so I kind of had in my head that I was going to be paying like, you know, pretty poor interest rate. But this other broker managed to find me one for 4.12%. And it got approved in 2 days. And obviously that's not the best interest rate around, but we're only doing a 2-year fixed, because in 2 years' time, I'm gonna have my dental salary, I'm gonna be employed by the NHS, and I'll be able to remortgage for a much more competitive rate. I also want to preface that I had no idea what a mortgage even was a couple of months ago, right? From that first idea of wanting to buy a house to now, I've learned what a solicitor is, what a broker is, what interest rates are, what a fixed mortgage is. I had no idea. So anyway, the mortgage got approved. I went back and viewed the house a second time. I took Dom, he loved it. Then we went away for Christmas, and obviously this whole time I just don't want to tell anybody. The only person that knows was literally my dad, because I needed a little bit of parental advice. I didn't want to stress my mum out, because I know that my mum is so like me and is so type A, and anything that potentially could go wrong is gonna like stress her out, and she's gonna try and solve it. So I thought, I'm just not gonna tell her until I have the keys. And then I got a survey done. I got like the level 2 home buyers survey. Didn't even know what a survey was before. And quite a lot came back on it. It is a very old property. It was built like late 1800s. So like, of course you're going to expect some, you know, some wear and tear, some old property issues. But like quite a lot came back. And it was odd, because the reason I chose this house was because there was the least needing doing. Like, it was beautifully presented. I was like, yeah, I won't even need to do anything. It will be really smooth. But it wasn't, and I think it took me by surprise quite a bit. And it's been a little bit stressful, because now it's like, oh, now I need to get 3 more surveys. One of the issues that came up was like bits of damp. So obviously with the experience I've had in this property, I am never gonna buy somewhere that hasn't got fixable damp. So I've said to the vendors, like, I will want all of this fixed, checked, regulated, whatever, before I buy the property. And they're happy to like negotiate off the house price. But yeah, this is a lot, guys. I'm 23. And it's so amazing. So amazingly overwhelming. But I just feel like with the fact that this flat has forced us into like an early termination of tenancy, the fact that the house like came on the market after I'd even seen it, like I just feel like there's so many things that line up so well. At the moment I'm just organising all of like the specialist surveys and getting quotes for how much the works that need doing like will cost. It's things like, obviously they're a bit overzealous with it on a survey. They're covering their own backs as well, and I completely appreciate that. Even in dentistry, like we give all of the risks that could go wrong just in case, but the likelihood that they happen are so slim. So I'm like, I'm taking that into consideration, but equally I'm like, why would I not act upon things? Like, if they're red flags, like I should act upon them, or I shouldn't buy the house. Especially when it's one that's been impacting like my medical condition so much in this property. I'm waiting for all the specialists to go around to quote, to negotiate, and then hopefully, it is currently January the 5th? Yeah, hopefully by the end of February I will be living in my very own house. I can't believe it. I could literally cry. No, not gonna cry, not gonna cry. just really proud. And I feel like one of my really good traits is if something is going horribly wrong, I will attempt to make light of it. And I feel like life has given me lemons, and I'm really trying to make lemonade here. So yeah, if you're wondering how we're going to make this work with a year and a bit of university left, Dom and I are actually going to start living separately again. We'll see each other all the time. We've loved living together, but we appreciate that for our future and like financially, it just makes absolute sense to do this. So I will live in Wales and he will have accommodation in Bristol. And then when I need to be in Bristol midweek, I'll stay with him. And then when he has the weekends off, obviously, and any other days off, he'll come and see me in Wales. But yeah, it's only like an hour and 40 minutes from where we currently are. But I wouldn't want to commute that twice a day every day. It's definitely too far for a commute. But yeah, because in 5th year there are quite a lot less clinics because we're sitting a lot of exams and there's like a lot of revision time. If I hit my totals quite early, it should take the pressure off the commute. But yeah. So that's why I've been absent. And I'm not even going to upload this for a while because I'm not even going to post this until obviously my whole family knows, and obviously until I have the keys because I don't want to jinx anything. And maybe I'll never post it because maybe I won't go through with the house. But I really hope I can go through. I'm so excited I want to do a little decorating series. Like, decorating this place I absolutely love doing. And everyone was like, where is everything from? And I'm kind of gutted I didn't do it like slower and kind of take you along with me, but it was because we were in the middle of like exam season at the time. Honestly, it never really stops over here. But yeah, I'm really excited to decorate along with you all. And yeah, it'll be really exciting. I'll take you along this little process with me. But yeah, fingers crossed it's the light at the end of this pretty dark tunnel. Bye. Oh my god! The moving van's just arrived. It's moving day. Ooh. But bit of context, AnyVan, which you can see, are actually moving me into storage because I don't actually get the keys for the new place for another 2 weeks. The typical like exchange process has obviously taken longer than anticipated. So yeah, waiting to get the keys. So most of the stuff is going into storage. A lot of the furniture we've sold, and Dom has like a 1-bed apartment here. I've got the week off uni next week, so me and my mum are actually going to go and stay in Wales because I told her, oh, it was the cutest thing. I actually own this. What the f***? But she's really excited, but she's never been, so we're going to go and I'll just show her around the area on my week off. And then, yeah, the week after should be moving back out of storage with AnyVan into the actual house. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I absolutely hate moving. Like, I get so unbelievably anxious. And at uni, I've literally moved like 5 times to different addresses. Trying to do that in Dom's Kia Picanto, tiny white car, takes about 20 trips, so it's not enjoyable. Everything kind of gets thrown into random bags and boxes, but AnyVan come, this is literally the current state of the flat. Like, just piles of clothes on the floor because we've sold stuff and have nowhere to put it. And yeah, just a load of stuff here as well. But they package it all up into boxes and then I just see it at the other end. I literally have to do nothing. It's insane. It's honestly been like such a puzzle trying to work out what I'm gonna need for the next 2 weeks. Like, obviously when things are in storage, I'm not just gonna go and rock up if I've forgotten something. But I need stuff for swimming, bike, run, uni, like holidays, you know, I'm trying to like really work out what I need. I think they're just gonna crack on, to be honest. I will get some footage of them, but this is like, I don't know, the least stressed I've ever been on a moving day. It's great. Do you want to say hello, guys?
Hello.
It's my new friends. They're doing all my work for me. So this is the van that we're moving out into. Oh, and this is the car that we most definitely were not going to manage to move within. All of my precious. They're wrapped so nicely. The bedroom is literally nearly done already. They've been here like 30 minutes. What the heck? Snack break. for all the hard work we're doing. Dom's got to look after my plants for a couple of weeks because they can't go into storage.
Yeah.
You better not kill them.
Rejuvenate this one. I think.
This isn't. This is. It's looking a bit sorry for itself. How does it feel moving?
Stressful.
It's not stressful though
anymore.
because we're literally
Thanks
not.
Thanks to AnyVan.
We're not moving it.
No, that's true. It's great. I'm having a good time.
No, it's sad because it's our first
Exactly.
place that we live together. But it also gave me health problems, so good riddance. The beloved TT bike. She's packed for new adventures. She's getting all wrapped up. Oh, it's nearly empty. Just crazy. We literally moved in 8 months ago. Did not think I'd be moving again this quick. You enjoying this? You enjoying not doing very much? It could help, you know? So sad. See all of this stuff in Wales in 2 weeks' time. Woohoo! Oh my gosh, it's 8 p.m. We've been cleaning this afternoon. Did have a hiatus to watch England rugby at the pub. We are now in Dom's new room, which is going to be based in Bristol, and the oven the oven keeps tripping the fuse and we don't know why, so we've ordered Domino's. Oh my god, the day has finally come. I am about to drive to Swansea to pick up the keys to my very own home. I just can't believe it. I can't believe it's actually gone through. I literally wasn't allowing myself to get excited because obviously you hear horror stories of people like losing the house like at the last minute, but we exchanged on Friday. It's now Monday. I did spend the weekend up in Nottingham getting really drunk with my old housemates, and yeah, now they've just called me and said the keys are ready to collect, so I'm gonna drive over. Oh my gosh, so excited. Got a load of house bits. I've been ordering rather large amounts on Dunelm and Oliver Bonus. I'm just so excited to decorate it. Yeah, I'm also not sure if I explained this, but I'm doing this other degree this year, which means I've literally got like 4 months off at summer. And also now that we're doing like our dissertations and a lot of coursework, we're not at uni that much, which means I can go over it like 4 or 5 days at a time to like decorate it. And I will basically be living in Swansea, especially like over summer and everything, and then Dom will just come and visit me whenever he can. So we actually won't be living together anymore, which is going to be weird because we were loving it. We were loving living together. And obviously it was so exciting when we moved in together, but it wasn't our fault that flat went as horribly as it did. We're out of there. We got our deposits back, and yeah, like thank God, good riddance. But yeah, it is sad. We're now not going to be living together. I'm going to be living in Swansea and he's going to be living in Bristol. And then when it comes to us doing in like 5th year like clinics again, if I ever need, like if we're working late, I can just stay at his house. But so much of 5th year is exams and like study leave as well, and we have like a really long summer that year. So yeah, I'm pretty much going to be in Swansea full-time, bar, you know, a couple days midweek here and there, which I'm so excited about. I'm so excited to live near the sea. Me and my mum ended up going for 3 days and I showed her the whole area and she loves it as much as I do, basically. And yeah, I'm like 20 minutes walk from a pool, a tennis club, an athletics track, the beach, like literally 5-minute drive from a surfing beach. So basically everything that I love is in such close proximity, and I'm hoping it brings me a lot of happiness and not nightmare energy like the last place did. But yeah, let's go get the keys. I'm officially in. This is my little porch. And then here is the lounge. Absolutely beautiful fireplace. I'm gonna put a big mirror there. Obviously, she's modest. She's not too big and she's quite dark, but I've seen it when it's like furnished and oh my gosh, it's so cozy. So I'm really excited to furnish it. But then we've got a little dining area, which again, obviously needs some lights. But yeah, really nice and cozy. And then the back of the house is a lot more light. But this is the kitchen, which is, oh my gosh, she's so big. I haven't had this much worktop space in forever. And then this is the garden. It's got like a bit of a patio and then a bit of grass. And then they left their garden furniture and then a shed. Literally everything I could need. There are some bits that are still here from the old owners because they asked if I wanted like some furniture like pretty cheap. So yeah, certain like rugs and stuff, I was like, oh, I actually really like that. So this is the main bedroom. They also left that lovely lampshade. But it's got a Juliet balcony looking out to the garden. Oh, I love it so much. And then they've actually got built-in wardrobes as well. Again, I'm just so excited. I've got such visions for every room and I just can't wait. I can't wait to get to work. One of the huge selling points about this house was the bathroom. Like, dude, this is beautiful. If I were to design a bathroom, I swear it would literally look like this. Oh, the blue, I love it. So yeah, not too much has to happen in here really. Also, how stunning is that window? I can't believe this is my house. Like what? What's going on? And then there's also another bedroom, which is like another double bedroom. They left this bed. I told them to get rid of the headboard, so I'm going to buy a headboard. And then this is actually going to go in the main bedroom because I'm going to get a day bed in here so that there's a bit more floor space for when we don't have guests. But I also just can't believe that like people are going to be able to come and stay with me and not have to sleep on the sofa. It's just, what? Room roof redone because it was awful. It was actually leaking to the point where there's a burn plug socket. So first thing was to sort this, then getting electricians in to fix and make the electrics safe here and in other places in the house. Then the main issue that we think is causing everything is the gutters, because water's just like sitting on the house. There's no way for it to drain. So that's then the next priority. But yeah, I feel like a property manager. You know that in DIY SOS, the woman that goes around and like bosses everyone around, that's how I feel. I've just realised I never actually finished this vlog. So I'm in the new house. Me and my mum are here for the week, going absolutely crazy on the painting. But I'm going to keep all of that in a different video because I know that this one is probably ridiculously long already. Oh, I'm bleeding. Don't pick your spots, guys. But if you did stay this long, thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to share this little journey with you. Bye.